to the Short Vol Show Live. My name is David, and today is a Friday, and Vol is coming in. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here. I know there's several other places you could be right now, so thanks for joining us this morning. VIX coming in, UVXY indicated open around 12 right now. Exciting, this not new show. The show that's been on for a while called The Expanse. You might have seen on my Twitter, Save The Expanse. It's basically, the show got canceled a couple weeks ago, and last week they announced that it has been picked up by Amazon. Some fans of the show actually flew a plane over Amazon to try to save the show with a sign that said Save the Expanse. And it did get picked up by Amazon. I believe Jeff Bezos is a fan of the show. Just let me play a little. It's a sci-fi show. And you should check it out. You should check it out. It's a sci-fi show, and it's really cool. It's kind of like old school sci-fi, but there's like the Earth, Mars, and then the belt, which is in between, and they're all pitted against each other. But anyways, check it out sometime. It's recommended. It's kind of off subject here. Anyway, so let's take a look at markets overnight. We did see a kind of a comeback rally in the major indices. E-minis up 13 now, Dow futures up 136, and NASDAQ up 27. Yesterday, I kind of rolled up. I've been being more and more conservative with my spread trades in UVXY. So instead of like thinking, okay, well, we're definitely going through, instead of basically buying put spreads that we need to be lower than where we are now for them to be making money, I've basically been putting spreads on where the short strike is right around the at the money. So actually the 12 strike right now. So this way, if we just sit here, I'm still okay, because I feel like I've been being too aggressive in these spreads. I'd rather go for a smaller percentage gain, but have it be more of a sure thing. I just want to put up some wins this year. It's been difficult for me, so I'd rather have a smaller return, but just bank some wins. So that's what I've been doing in UVXY. I sold. Let's take a look at the option screen here. So I sold some with a week to go, or 2 weeks to go, the June 13-14 and a half call vertical. Then I sold with 28 days to go, the 12-14 vertical. And then with 49 days to go, the 12-14 vertical. And so, as I was talking about yesterday, if we stay in contango of around 5% for an $11, $12 underlying 5% contango represents about 50 cents decay per month. So all things being equal, this thing's going to decay about 50 cents per month. Now, that doesn't tell us the whole story, of course, because there's a lot we don't know about where volatility is going to end up here. At this time last summer, if we got up to where we are now, 14.5 on the VIX, that would be a very brief stay at 14.5, and then we'd be right back down to like 10. But it's hard to say what's going to happen this year. We seem to have, in this sort of down move over the last few days in equity markets, VIX got up above 15. And it's hard to say if we're going to stay, what range we're going to stay in. What's the new normal now? That's the big question. So let's take a look at the VIX 20-day chart, and you see it bouncing all the way up to almost 19. It was in this little range of between 12.5 and 14 for a little while, but then bouncing higher. So if I'm making a prediction 50 days out for UVXY to be 11, it would mean that the VIX would have to be hanging out, below, let's say 15, and that's not a sure thing. Okay, so I just widened the VIX chart out to 100 days. Let me minimize myself here because I'm too big. And so this is VIX chart out to 180 days, and you can see it's trending downward, but it's all over the place, and there's no guarantee that it's just going to keep trending down. I mean, if it stays at the average, it would be around 16, 17 from this view. If we widen this out to like 3 years, you're going to see a lot lower average there. But let me see if I can raise that up a little bit. But it's not a sure thing either way. There. From that chart, that green highlighted is 14.5, and that kind of looks like the average. But with the action we had in February, it's hard to say what the new normal is for the VIX, and I don't want to be too aggressive to the downside as far as where I'm putting these spreads on UVXY. I mean, contango decay will occur and does occur, and that's the only real sure thing here. But do we stay in contango, and where does the VIX kind of average out over time? Here's the let's look at the 180-day in UVXY, and you see us definitely decaying. I'm not even sure that shows 180 days. Look, so there's a year in UVXY, and you definitely see us decaying out of February, and that probably will prove to continue lower. And when you look at the chart that way, it looks like, well, yeah, 11 is definitely reasonable in the next month. But like I said, I just want to put some wins up, so I am the strike I'm using to be short is the 12, so anything below 12 as opposed to anything below 11 now, because I'm a little skittish, and I'd rather book a smaller win than a loss. So that's where I am kind of right now with UVXY. Let's take a look at the VIX term structure for today. Now, the last video I made a couple days ago actually got taken down because I was a bit too enthusiastic with my Michael Jackson at the end of the video, and I guess they don't like anybody to use that stuff at all because it was taken down pretty much, and the federales basically like blocked my video, so there wasn't much I could do at that point. It's just blocked worldwide, so I pretty much would have to start from scratch on a new video. So as we look at the term structure here, I was broadcasting earlier, contango around 4%. It was interesting how we did stay in contango over the last days with up moves in the VIX. This term structure really stuck, and that's good for us shorts because it means we're decaying even with spot above some of the futures prices over the last couple of days. The roll still is in contango, which means we're still decaying that whole time, which is great. Showing here contango at just over 4%. And the structure looking solid. Let's go to barchart.com and Nick, and let's see what we've got. Okay, so he's saying Jobs Friday, as is every Friday. Let's take a look at some numbers we have today. So bunch of stuff at 8:30 in 20 minutes. Hourly earnings, unemployment, ISM, final manufacturing, construction spending out at 10. And we, as has been the case a lot of this week, we do not have a correlated market according to Nick. I want to check out Gorilla Trades. This is our new partner, and just kind of show you the website here for a second. And these guys, they have stock picks every, which they come out with a lot, and we'll slowly investigate this website more as the days go by, and dig a little bit deeper into some of their picks and what they have to offer. I one of the best things that I've found with them is the just the news service which they provide. They send me emails all the time with like news stories and stuff, and it makes it so you don't have to really search around as much every day to find stuff. So let's take a look. So here's an example of one of the emails. And they'll tell you what is happening geopolitically. They'll tell you what the numbers were for the day, and these come out a couple times a day. Now, you don't have to receive them, and you can kind of vary what you get from them, but really useful stuff that's at your fingertips, so you don't have to search around as much to find stuff. So that's cool. And there's a link in the description to Gorilla Trades. I don't get paid by you signing up, but check it out and see what happens, and see if you like it. It's like, if you get one good idea, they've got like hundreds of ideas every year, and if you get one good idea from them, it pays for the subscription service for the whole year with that one idea. So it costs a little under $50 a month, and you pay by the year, and it's a good thing to give you information on what's going on in the market every day. I was taught as a beginning trader that you come into the day, and in the morning you say, what's the theme for today? Maybe it's a Donald Trump tweet. That might be the theme a lot of days, actually. Maybe it is a geopolitical event. Maybe it's earnings for a particular stock. Maybe there's some sort of takeover deal. But there's always a theme every day. And so you try to come in and say, what's the theme today? What's going on? What's the tone today? And an email from Gorilla Trades or checking out their website can give you that information and get you sort of in tune with the market. Some people use go to a chat room and hang out. Some people, like a Discord room or something like that. Some people go on a Facebook group. Some people just scan through stocks. Like, for example, sometimes I'll go to barchart.com and look at unusual options activity to see what the theme is today. Some people have YouTube live broadcasts to tell you that sort of stuff. But I recommend that you do follow that sort of process though in the morning, so that you can get in tune with what's happening on the markets every day. So coming into the weekend here, UVXY indicated down about 50 cents. We did get the announcement that we anticipated for the TVIX split coming up. It looks like split for shareholders of record on the June 8th. So coming up soon, TVIX 10-for-1 split. So it, if it was trading $4 then it will be $40 after. Do the math. There's always a lot of confusion over splits. Splits in themselves do not change the situation. It doesn't. Some people have this like misconception that, every time something splits, that means it's going to go down very quickly right after that, or it's going to go up very quickly right after that. If you have a very thinly traded issue and everybody thinks something's going to happen, then maybe they'll make it happen. But with something like a TVIX where it's a derivative of a derivative, et cetera, this is just a necessary thing that has to happen in a leveraged ETF that's decaying over time. Is they split them. It's just so that it makes it more tradable. If you have if you have something that's trading 50 cents, it's not very tradable. There's not many options, strike prices, and obviously TVIX doesn't have options. But I'm just saying in general, there's uh, there's not a lot of wiggle room, and it's much better to trade something that's like over $20 because it gives you it's just a more marketable product. And TVX has split several times in its life, and it will continue to do so due to contango and other decay. And but don't mistake it for like, oh, when something splits, that means something like it's going to go up or it's going to go down or X, Y, or Z. Mathematically, it's the same thing it was before. It's just the values are the way it's divided up per share has changed, but it's the same thing it was before. So don't be confused by this split talk. I did have an interview with Steve Sears yesterday, which I will be releasing right after this show. We had a lot of fun. He's an interesting guy. It was interesting to me. He knew a bunch of my buddies from SIBO. He's definitely a real smart guy and connected with and was around at the beginning of the VIX, which is interesting. I'm sure it'll be interesting to viewers here. I'm looking for a profitable summer for everybody. Now that we're, things have kind of in a trading range and VIX in the middle of that range, this is all tradable now, and this is time for us all to make some money. So let's do that together. I'm going to have some great stuff coming up. And more interviews coming up, and a lot of special guests coming on in the morning to the show. I want to start having like almost every day someone come on here with me in the morning, so to hang out with me here, that would be a lot of fun. So anyway, that is that for today, and I hope you folks have a great weekend. We still have a bunch of trading today. Good luck. Be safe, be careful, and make some money. And stay tuned next for the video coming up. Steve Sears. Thanks for watching. I'll see you folks next time. And I'm going to try not to get locked out of here due to copyrighted sound music material this time. Thanks for watching.